After years of silence, Usher has finally decided to speak about how Diddy and Russell took advantage of him and used him as their boy toy. He revealed that while he puts a bold face for the camera when he is with Diddy or with Russell, what they did to him put him in a dark place, and he hasn't been able to move on because he still gets flashbacks of the whole incident that has put him in a bad state mentally. But then that is not all, because different media sources are reporting that Usher has reached out to his legal team and is filing a lawsuit against Diddy. Is Usher's lawsuit the end of Diddy? Rumors of Diddy and Russell Usher have been around for a while, and what makes the situation disturbing is that people close to Diddy knew what was going on, as Kim Porter, before she passed on, was writing a book about the evil side of Diddy, and the shocking part was information about how Diddy infected Usher with STD, and Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene, deal confirming Diddy infected Usher with STD. So for the past couple of months, Diddy's name has not been in the news for positive reasons, as he has been hooked on to one lawsuit or the other, and most have been because of SA. And if y'all wondering what Usher has to do with this, it is because music producer Lil Rod Jones, who worked with Diddy on the Love album, Off the Grid album, sued Diddy for SA. In the lawsuit, although Usher's name was redacted, the documents stated that Diddy had a sexual relationship with an R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Given that Usher had a Las Vegas residency show in the last few months and performed at the recent Super Bowl, all fingers pointed toward him. In the lawsuit, Lil Rod Jones revealed that in a bid to convince him to go DL, Diddy revealed how being DL was a norm in the industry, and then spoke about how he hooked up with Usher multiple times. Lil Rod's lawsuit gave credibility to rumors that have been going on around for a while. I know most of y'all are wondering how Usher got himself into this situation. So, as a teenager, Usher was handed over to Diddy to mentor because he had some sort of program called Puff Flavor Camp.
Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Come on.
But hey.
Where he mentored young artists to become superstars. Usher lived with Diddy, and y'all know Diddy has the reputation of being a big party head, and Usher saw everything go down. Then, a few years ago, while talking about his time staying with Diddy, Usher revealed he saw things he was too young to see, and he would not allow any of his kids to attend these mentoring camps.
Here to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody
it was crazy.
tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
While not all mentoring camps, you could see Usher went through some pretty crazy stuff with Diddy, and there was an occasion where Diddy almost exposed himself.
My brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, pause, but like just how, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the.
But while these things were some sort of rumors, people who knew Diddy personally knew what was going on. After Kim Porter passed, an email from one of the publishers who was helping in writing Kim Porter's book got leaked online. And according to the publisher, Kim's book went into detail about how Diddy used to get intimate with Usher and even infected him with an STD. The content of the email says some of the things in the book covered Diddy's gay relationships, footage of those encounters, the men he slept with, STDs, Diddy giving Usher an STD, and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom. The content of the leaked email sounded crazy, but then Gene Deal, who happened to be Diddy's long-term bodyguard, confirmed it was true.
Live with Diddy, and he know a lot of stuff about Diddy that a lot of people don't know.
Man, it's a lot of stuff that Mace and Usher know that they ain't telling about Diddy. It's a lot of stuff that they know. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you really imagine?
What you mean by Usher though?
Usher used to stay with Diddy too when he was younger.
Gene worked with Diddy for a long time and stayed over at his crib, so he saw everything happened. He then revealed that things got intense between Usher and Diddy, and at some point they had to rush Usher to the hospital.
Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. Explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
Gene also ripped into Usher for not speaking up against Diddy, even though he knew the bad things Diddy did. Gene Usher was a victim of Diddy, and he should see himself as one and stop speaking positive things about him. But then, Diddy wasn't the only one who took advantage of Usher. And as Gene said, Usher somehow still manages to hang out with his abusers. In fact, Usher recently made a trip to Thailand to go and spend time with Russell Simmons and do some yoga with him. For those who might not be aware, Russell was also hit with multiple SA allegations from women. He got a hint of what was coming, and he sold his properties in the USA and moved to Bali, where he now teaches yoga. Gene, who has been with Diddy for a long time, claimed Russell was a monster, and Diddy wasn't like this when he started working with him. He claims he started noticing changes with Diddy after he started moving and hanging out with Russell.
Yo, I seen Puff smoke cigarettes, smoke weed on camera, and that wasn't the same dude that I knew. So I'm looking at this dude like, yo, all he did was go to the third to the fourth power with this shit. He had it in him because he learned it from the beginning by seeing them and by being around them. And that's Russell Simmons, Andre Harrell now, being at those parties.
So Russell Simmons and Andre Harrell is where Diddy got it from. Like all these wild parties and all this freaky stuff, it came from them.
Well, bro, yeah, that's where he got it from. Andre ain't here to defend himself, but he was giving wild parties. They were doing things like that. My man Bill was his bodyguard. So they was doing things like that. So now you got women that came out and said Russell Simmons was doing stuff like that. But Russell Simmons said, I wasn't doing that because I took 7, 8, 9 lie detector tests and I passed them. Yeah, Russell, you also studied your into that Buddhism and that yoga stuff like that, so you know how to control your body to let you know so you don't have any kind of panic mode when you take those tests. Keep it a buck. That's why you got into that Zen shit. You take a lie detector test, it's not going to come up because you know how to control your body.
Gene then hinted that Diddy pimped Usher to Russell, who in turn SA him, and he claims this went on for years. Well, it's not hard to see why Gene is pretty mad at Usher. He got SA by Diddy, then passed him to his friend who did the same, and Usher kept saying positive things about him when he could have. But then, after the Lil Rod Jones lawsuit went viral, inside sources are reporting that for the first time since the rumors of Diddy SA Usher became a thing, Usher has admitted to being SA by Diddy and Russell. The source revealed that Usher said while he was at Puffy Flavor Camp, he was threatened and forced to go DL with Usher. The source revealed Usher said while he hit puberty and was having some changes to his voice, Diddy told him he could get La Reed to drop him, and no one else was going to give him a record deal or put him on a song. Usher revealed he had to do it because he always wanted to chase his dream and become a superstar. The source revealed Usher claimed Diddy passed him to Russell in one of his visits to Diddy's home. Usher claims even though he puts up a brave face whenever he meets with Diddy or Russell, he still faces the trauma and the pain. They put him through different media sources are now reporting that Usher is filing a lawsuit against Diddy, and he has lots of evidence that can put Diddy behind bars forever, and he is willing to it to court. Fans had these to say: "I stand with Usher. Victims process trauma differently, and it's people like you that cause victims to hold back from sharing. Do better." Why didn't Usher warn and protect Justin Bieber and other young artists like he was after the evil he went through? I don't understand how he could allow it to happen to other children like he was. So I'd love to know what you think about this whole situation. Let me know what you think in the comments, then check out this next video.